Welcome back. Long before many who followed films in South India, particularly in Kerala, knew who Suresh Gopi was. But now the country knows who Suresh Gopi he is of course the first BJP's elected MP from Kerala, also part of the cabinet of Prime Minister Modi. But what's interesting is, seems to be some inconsistency, seems to be a series of flip-flops, or at least what the opposition is claiming. Let's just look at what we have before us. BJP's Thrissur MP Suresh Gopi, who took oath as Minister of State yesterday, has found himself in midst of a political turmoil. This after he said that he had not required or asked for any berth. Instead, had said he doesn't want anything. Suresh Gopi also affirmed that he is sure he would be relieved very soon. He said this to a media outlet soon after the oath-taking ceremony, insisting that he would strive to ensure Thrissur has the best or is the best as an MP. And he cannot but continue to act in movies, which he must, again reiterating that he would be soon relieved of his ministerial responsibilities. Let's listen in to what Suresh Gopi first said, and then we'll go into what the ANI or what he eventually spoke.
ഒന്നും ആവശ്യപ്പെട്ടതല്ല. എനിക്കിത് വേണ്ടാന്ന് തന്നെ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞിരുന്നത്. എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു എന്നെ റിലീവ് ചെയ്യും, താമസിയാതെ റിലീവ് ചെയ്യും. ഒരു പ്രശ്നമില്ല. അവർക്ക് നന്നായിട്ട് ഞാൻ തൃശ്ശൂർക്കാർക്ക് ഒരു MP എന്ന നിലയ്ക്ക് നല്ല മികച്ച പ്രകടനം കാഴ്ചവെക്കും. എനിക്ക് സിനിമ ചെയ്തേ മതിയാവും. എനിക്കറിയാം അത് തീരുമാനിക്കട്ടെ.
Now, Congress's Kerala unit was quick to take note of it and slammed the Thrissur MP, calling it a mockery of voters. Congress urged him to first decide what he wants to do in life. After the issue snowballed into a political row, Suresh Gopi has now issued a clarification. In a social media post, he has said that reports that he will resign from Council of Ministers was grossly incorrect. He added that he is committed to prosperity and development of Kerala. I'm being joined at this point by Vinita Hariharan, who's a spokesperson for BJP, Henry Austin, who's a spokesperson for Congress, and K.A. Shadri, who's a senior journalist from Kerala. Thank you very much, all three of you, for joining us. First, let me just go across to Vinita Hariharan. Ms. Vinita, what Suresh Gopi has right now spoken on his social media, through his social media post, essentially says media outlets that have said that I will resign as a minister are grossly wrong. But the truth is, he never said that he would resign. That's not what he said.
Right.
What he said was he will be relieved.
Right. So I think, it's too preposterous to actually, to blend any kind of meaning more than what he said at that point of time, is what that his primary motive is to serve the constituency of Thrissur, Lok Sabha, from where he was elected and from where he's been doing a lot of service to the community there. And he doesn't want any, interference into that work. So obviously, he has been convinced of that, and that is why that his ministership or the minister of whatever portfolio he's going to get will not kind of intervene. It will only add to his abilities to serve his constituency in a better manner. He was convinced of that, and that is why he's taken the oath. There's an oath-taking ceremony. He's sworn in as a minister. And now there's no comeback, there's no looking back, and he's going to be serving as a minister with, in all his capacity and all his, with all his good offices. And he'll also be serving the people of Thrissur Lok Sabha constituency, which would be his primary kind of influence area. And he wants to really focus on development of Thrissur Lok Sabha, which has been his dream right from the beginning. From the time he's been associated with that.
I'm certain about what you're saying. Again, the point is not that, Vinita Hariharan. And tell me if I'm wrong, because frankly, from what I heard it, and he's very clear he wants to continue as an MP. He's very passionate about that. He's not minced his words about it. He's very clear. He wants to continue as an MP. He has worked very hard for it. He has been voted by the people, and he will continue to do that. But remember, he goes on to say, എനിക്ക് ആക്ടിങ് ചെയ്യണം, ഐ വോണ്ട് ടു ആക്ട്. Eniki idu venda. I don't want the post. He's saying that.
Yeah, so that's, now that he's taken the oath, there's no looking back. And as of now, he's a minister. So, and he's going to be, working as a minister, and he's going to be, conducting the duties of a minister with all sincerity and commitment. And he'll also be serving the people of the constituencies. All that we can talk about at the moment.
Okay. Okay. Henry Austin, would you take what Vinita Hariharan is saying? Would you see that as the end of this entire furor or political hangama that, of course, the Congress has led the drive with?
Sneha, I would absolutely not agree with what Vinita has got to say regarding this matter. It is actually BJP has got an egg on the face now. As far as Suresh Gopi is concerned, he is actually very unsure of what he wants. He has made it clear that he would like to continue in movies. He's got a lot of project commitments. Those are his words, actually. And yesterday, he went so far as to say that he expects to be relieved as early as possible, which is clear indication that he has actually conveyed his wish not to continue as a minister with the concerned authorities.
No. So I'll correct you here again. Very interesting, but interesting use of words. I mean, Henry Austin, he doesn't say he expects to be corrected. He says he's sure he will be relieved.
That's right. He was quite sure that he would be relieved immediately. I don't think a person who's just taken oath as a minister would communicate such a thing unless some mode of communication has happened between the higher ups and him. So obviously there was some communication. I believe this is a show because Suresh Gopi, being the first BJP's elected member from Kerala, I think he expected to become a minister with independent charge or at least a cabinet rank minister. Probably this was a disappointment also that he has been given an MOS charge, not even with an independent charge. And to top it, Kerala has got additional one more minister too in the form of George Kurian. So the importance that Suresh Gopi expected to have in Kerala's affairs have diminished with the appointment of George Kurian also. So those two factors combined, and with the fact that he initially also was not very keen to take up the ministership, he wanted to work as an MP and also continue working in movies. Now, the Congress is very clear in this point that let him make up his mind. What does he want? Does he just want to become an MP and continue in movies, or is he willingly taking? Why should he is putting the show of a reluctant minister, which is absolutely hogwash. I mean, it's not fair in democracy.
Reluctant minister. Okay, I'll get back to Vinita Hariharan on this about the reluctant minister. But K. Shaji, you are not new to Kerala politics and the national politics. This, of course, is not only about Kerala politics. He is a union minister of state for that matter. But to what both the panelists here have said, I mean, we all know Suresh Gopi isn't a retired actor. He's very much an active actor. And if you look at what he has spoken, he's passionate about his acting career. He sees no end to it anymore. So he will be definitely not an actor turned politician. He will be a serving actor and a serving politician. Nonetheless, also a cabinet minister. Now, is there more than one challenge? How do you look at this? Should you just look at this as a newly appointed minister or not a seasoned politician doing his beginning era?
Yeah.
Is that how you're supposed to see it? Is that how you see it, or is there more to it?
I think we all panelists will agree to one point that Suresh Gopi is very much ambitious. Whether he wants to become a super politician or at the same time he wants to be a philanthropist and also one of the topmost film actors in Kerala. So he don't want to compromise in any of these fields. And in the run-up to the election, once he said he don't want to be a union minister, but he wants at least half a dozen union cabinet ministers exclusively focusing on the needs of Thrissur. Such was his self-confidence, and he was telling the people of Thrissur that he will ensure 6 union ministers exclusively devoting their time for the welfare of Thrissur. And such a person, yesterday, his dreams have been shattered. He got disappointed, and he was made one of the most insignificant minister of state. There are too many ministers of states. And he was vying for a key position as a cabinet minister. And he hoped, despite all his denials before, he was hoping to become a union cabinet minister with an important portfolio. And he totally disappointed in the morning. And it is very much clear in the interviews he given to the Malayalam channels, he was totally disappointed with the way the BJP national leadership has treated him. And now you see, the Kerala state BJP president Surendran is now doing a damage control thing. And without allowing Suresh Gopi to come out and straightly giving the explanation, he told Suresh Gopi to do the damage control to the social media, and rest of the things have been carried out by Surendran. So Surendran is telling Suresh Gopi will continue, Suresh Gopi will prevail, and Suresh Gopi will continue to be a minister of state. And at the same time, say section of the media that is favoring the BJP, they are saying Suresh Gopi got a small reprieve. For the time being, he will continue as a minister of state. After completing the existing cinema assignment, he will become a cabinet minister. Such a consolation is now being given to Suresh Gopi by the BJP national leadership. That is what I am perceiving.
All right, K.A. Shahji giving some very interesting points. Vinita Hariharan, do you want to respond to what K.A. Shahji is saying, as well as to what Mr. Henry Austin said was an accidental minister? Very interesting usage of words, and we all would know why so. But nonetheless, what Suresh Gopi has achieved is big. It's huge. I think all credit goes to him for what he has done for the BJP. He's been able to get that one seat, and anybody who's been following South politics, South of India, particularly in Kerala as well, would know this is no mean or no less an achievement at all. But Vinita Hariharan, that great feat seems to have now come under clouds of concerns. It doesn't seem to have taken off the way it should have.
No, I didn't get your question as what didn't take off as it should have, but definitely Suresh Gopi's achievement is no mean achievement to win in Thrissur, where it has been a bastion of UDF and the LDF in repeated order. But what both the spokespersons are saying, they've contradicted themselves. On one hand, they say that he's an accidental minister, and the other hand, they say that he was eyeing for a union cabinet post. So both the statements are contradicting themselves. And so if you see, all along he's been maintaining that he's not been eyeing for any kind of cabinet post. He only wants to serve the people of Thrissur, which I think we should all accept. And because the kind of commitment that he's shown, the kind of dedication that he's shown for his constituency, nobody can take it away. Go beyond politics, my friends, and just look at the commitment and dedication
100%.
of this person towards his people of his constituency. Is all
There's
that
no
we can
doubt
read
about
from
that.
his statement. Because he repeatedly says that he doesn't want the power of the ministerial powers that everybody has been eyeing for, which the Congress has been aligning with all opponents and with all, polarly opposite ideological parties, just to kind of defeat Modi ji and to be in power. So they've kind of had egg on their face. Actually, we would speak nationally. They've had egg on their face, and not BJP. So I think so. There's a total contradiction from both the spokespeople, and I think let's give it to this man Suresh Gopi, who's been there with the people, and he will be there for the people of Thrissur always. We can see the validation of the people on the ground for him, and for the love and the dedication that he's shown for the affairs, for the issues that they face on the ground. So he always wants to be an on-the-ground person. That's what he's trying to say.
There's no doubt about this, Vinita Hariharan, and I want to make one thing very clear. This isn't about Suresh Gopi or taking away anything from what he has achieved, because as I said, anybody who follows politics down south, particularly in Kerala as well, would know what he has done is far from being anything less. Getting that one seat for Kerala in BJP is humongous. But what we are really talking about is what has unfolded since then. What should have been a thumping interview or reaction to media persons after the news of him, after him taking the oath for that matter, to what came as a very lackluster remark from him. Is there a challenge that you all essentially see? Because Vinita Hariharan, you would also know he's a man of many comebacks. He's ambitious. He's a strong comeback person in his movies as well as in life. That's the truth about Suresh Gopi, and one of the reasons why he could do what he has done. Has BJP not given him enough?
Being ambitious is Yeah, so being ambitious is not a crime. It's always good to be ambitious because without being ambitious, you can't really achieve anything. But what are his ambitions today? His ambitions is to go beyond his role. He's a successful actor in any case, so he really doesn't need all of this to, to gain anything more to fulfill his ambitions. But his ambitions now is to serve the people, and he's kind of demarcated a constituency where he can, within his lifetime, he can serve people to the maximum within the constituency of Trishul. He's not going beyond that. And so
Yeah,
he's
but
very
see what
focused and
Congress is saying.
he
You have
really
given
wants to do
Suresh
a
Gopi,
good
who
job
gave
of
you your
that.
first seat,
So,
MOS. Of course, we don't know the portfolio, and a similar portfolio and a similar post for George Kurian. Of course, he's also done tremendous for the party, so the party claims. But clearly, there's no comparison between the two. Do you think this sits well?
so there is no comparison, as you said. So Suresh Gopi is also definitely not comparing himself to George Kurian. Both have got ministerial positions on different capacities and different, they've been rewarded differently. I mean, they've been rewarded for different things. George Kurian, he has been in the party for 40 years. He's been serving the party with commitment and dedication and loyalty. And not only that, he is also, he served important positions in the government as well as in the Minority Commission. And he's done a very, very good job of
Okay.
all of those roles that he's played.
Okay.
He's very
All
sincere,
right.
a very, very, a person who does not really project himself too much. And so people like these are
Okay.
who are being
Very quick
rewarded.
questions. Okay, very quick questions from
Really
K.A.
pays off in
Shaji
the
as
long
well
run
as
in the
Henry
context of the
Austin. You've
party.
heard
That's what
Vinita Hariharan
we
speak.
can
You've
not
heard what
take
the
an
BJP
info
is
from.
saying. K.A. Shaji, is this going beyond what is being spoken, is being read? He has come out on the post and said, let's put an end to this. I am done with it. And he didn't say it in as much words, but he went on to say, I'm extremely proud. Again, he didn't say anything about a clarification of what he said. He essentially said, listen, I'm not resigning. He never said on the first place that he was not resigning. That being one point. But has the BJP misread Suresh Gopi's aspirations?
I think so that happened because in the case of Suresh Gopi, as you said, this ambitious attitude, it is nothing, not a crime. And another level, he done enormous work, lot of hard work. He undertaken a huge risk. And he just made a minister of state. And at the same time, in the case of George Kurian, he's a long time activist of BJP, but he had a low profile. But now they both are getting almost similar positions. And there is also lack of clarity about the portfolio which Suresh Gopi will get. And he's comparing things because he is one of the leading superstars of Malayalam. And now 5, 6 projects are pending before him. And naturally, he has to go through the pros and cons. And he must have to worry about his political future. What would be the final outcome? So it would be natural for a politician like Suresh Gopi because he is not a seasoned politician. He just entered into the party politics. He just entered into the parliamentary form of election. And he has very reasons, justifiable reasons to worry about what would be his future. And that is why he clearly said he has some inherent knowledge that the party may dump him later. So he was politely telling that in the morning. So
Okay,
we have to read a lot more from that statement.
Okay.
That is what I...
That's possibly important as well to read his statement very carefully because he is not a man of just few words. He is not a man who would just speak anything. He knows what he's speaking. He's an actor par excellence, as many of his fans would claim for that matter. But Henry Austin, my last question to you. I mean, let's face it, BJP has managed to get what it has got primarily because Congress and the left could not do what it should have done in Kerala. So while you may really go all guns after Suresh Gopi and for calling him a confused minister, the point is you could not hold fort.
That's beside the point, Sneha, because as far as Suresh Gopi is concerned, he is not a novice in politics. I would beg to differ with Shaji on that point. He was a Rajya Sabha MP. He's completed 5 years as a Rajya Sabha MP. So he's not new in politics. He knows Delhi politics all too well. And after his victory in Trishur, I think he fully expected that he would be given a cabinet post. Either the cabinet post or no post at all. That was his position. And his real life and real life is a very thin line. It's a very blurred line between real life and real life persona of Suresh Gopi. Because he carries over his image as an action hero into politics also. And he's had a share of run-ins with the media also. Yesterday also there was a run-in with the Media One channel just after the swearing-in ceremony. So this is all part of his personality. So even his departure to Delhi was high drama in Kerala yesterday. Because till the last moment, there was a lot of hue and cry about not getting a plane ticket to Delhi. And finally, he made it to Delhi. And all this build-up was in the expectation that he would be given a very important portfolio or as at least a cabinet minister or at least Minister of State with independent. Now, what he has got is a Minister of State without independent charge. And to top it, there is another Minister of State from BJP itself and who's got 40 years background in the party. So there is reason for him to be disillusioned. Given the scale of his achievement, at least in his mind, he has done an incredible job to win the seat in Thrissur, fighting both the front. And mind you, Sneha, just one more point I would like to make is, just after the election, he made it very clear that this vote which he has garnered is not all for BJP, implying that it is for his personality that a lot of the votes have come in, which could be partly true also. It is all this vote is not for BJP. That is what Suresh Gopi himself said post-election interview. So obviously, for a person who has that,
Vinita Hariharan, very quickly, I don't have time. 30 seconds. Do you want to respond to what Henry Austin is saying?
So I think this is a very, very petty way of, gauging all of this. But a man who's actually sacrificed so much of his personal wealth, and also who's, for whom the party has so dedicatedly worked. And a Congress spokesperson talking like this is extremely petty, and I think it reflects the mindset of the Congress to actually, draw conclusions like this about somebody whose intentions are so clear and about a party who has no other agenda, which has no other agenda than nation building. So I think stop pettifying all of these, stop making things so petty in front of the nation. Please. Let's give this man a chance and let's see what happens to the ministry. And, and he is above ministerial power and position for sure. So that's what his statement means, and that is his intent.
All right.
But he will definitely, go by the oath and the swearing in that he's done before all of the, so many people, the entire country has taken an oath, and he'll definitely deliver to the rest of the that the government gives him.
All right, Vinita Hariharan, Henry Austin, as well as K. Sharji, thank you very much for joining us. One thing is for sure, you've not heard the last of this action hero either in the cinema or in politics. There's a lot that's remaining. Thank you very much, all of you, for joining.